Comfort is the enemy. Every time you choose comfort, you kill a piece of your potential. Comfort is the silent killer of dreams, the invisible force that whispers, "You've done enough." It tells you to relax, to take it easy, to slow down because you've already done more than most. But that voice isn't your friend. It's the part of you that wants to stay average, that wants to avoid the grind, that wants to keep you safe from growth. The moment you listen to that voice, you start losing the war within. You start dying in pieces, not because you couldn't do more, but because you refuse to face the discomfort that leads to greatness. When you live in comfort, you live in limitation. Every goal you set will stay just out of reach because you've trained yourself to stop when things get hard. The body gets soft, the mind gets weaker, and your hunger fades. You start convincing yourself that you're content, but deep down, you know you've settled. You know you had more in you, but comfort made you forget who you are. The easy path destroys your edge, and once that edge is gone, it's hard to get it back. You lose your discipline, your drive, and your respect for yourself. You have to understand that growth doesn't happen in comfort. Growth happens in chaos, in the struggle, in the moments where you want to quit, but you keep moving anyway. That's where the transformation begins. That's where the real version of you is built. The world doesn't reward those who stay comfortable. It rewards those who choose to suffer for something greater. Every time you push through pain, you're earning a new level of strength. Every time you walk into discomfort willingly, you're sharpening your mind and your soul. You're proving to yourself that you can take whatever life throws your way. The people who rise above mediocrity are the ones who refuse to stay comfortable. They understand that comfort is a trap, a beautiful cage disguised as peace. It makes you think you're happy, but what you're really doing is settling. The fire in you starts to fade because you stop feeding it with challenges. You stop demanding more from yourself. You stop chasing the version of you that could have been unstoppable. You let comfort talk you out of your greatness. And once you make peace with that, you've already lost. Every day is a test. When that alarm goes off and your body says no, when the world tells you to rest, when your mind starts listing all the reasons why you deserve a break, that's when the battle begins. That's when you decide who you are. Do you choose the bed, the couch, the easy way out? Or do you choose the grind, the sweat, the pain that sharpens you? You don't need to be motivated. You need to be relentless. Motivation dies fast, but discipline, the decision to stay uncomfortable, that's what builds warriors. The truth is, comfort will never lead you to purpose. Comfort will never give you meaning. The best version of you lives on the other side of pain, and every time you escape that pain, you're running away from who you're supposed to become. You don't get stronger by avoiding struggle. You get stronger by walking straight into it. The world doesn't care about your comfort. It cares about your results. And your results are built in the moments when you could have taken it easy, but didn't. So if you want to grow, you have to train your mind to love discomfort. You have to crave the pain that others run from. You have to be the one who steps up when everyone else sits down. You have to be willing to hurt now so you can live strong later. Every rep, every early morning, every hard decision builds a piece of the unbreakable version of you. You don't need comfort. You need challenge. You don't need ease. You need effort. You don't need rest. You need resilience. Because comfort is the enemy. And every time you choose it, you bury your potential one lazy moment at a time. ChatGPT said, embrace the pain. Pain is not punishment. It's the price of greatness. Pain is the teacher no one wants, but everyone needs. It's the voice that tells you to keep pushing when your body screams to stop. Most people run from pain because they believe it's a sign to quit, a sign that they've gone too far. But the truth is, pain is proof that you're alive, proof that you're growing, proof that you're not wasting your potential. The ones who achieve greatness don't fear pain. They study it. They welcome it. They let it mold them into something stronger. Pain separates the average from the extraordinary. It's the gateway between who you are and who you're meant to become. When you embrace pain, you take control of your destiny. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start becoming the author of your story. Every ache, every failure, every sleepless night becomes fuel. Pain builds a different kind of strength, the kind that can't be taught in comfort, the kind that doesn't fade when life gets hard. Every rep that burns, every mile that breaks you, every setback that crushes your spirit is not there to destroy you, but to reveal what you're made of. Pain strips away the weakness, the doubt, the excuses. It leaves behind only the truth, the raw, unfiltered version of you that doesn't quit. People think pain means something's wrong. They believe that if life hurts, they must be failing. But pain isn't failure. Pain is feedback. It's your body and mind telling you that you're stepping into a new level. It's the resistance that comes when you push beyond your limits. If it doesn't hurt, it's not changing you. The process of becoming great isn't supposed to feel good. It's supposed to challenge everything you think you know about yourself. You can't evolve in ease. You evolve through endurance. Every time you survive pain, you build calluses on your mind. And those calluses become your armor when life hits you again. Pain teaches humility. It shows you that strength isn't about muscles or metals. It's about your willingness to keep going when there's nothing left in the tank. It's about facing the storm and saying, "You can't break me." That kind of mindset doesn't come from books or speeches. It comes from experience. It comes from being down on the ground, bleeding, exhausted, and still refusing to quit. Pain gives you perspective. It makes you appreciate the moments of peace because you've earned them. It teaches you that comfort is temporary, but resilience is forever. When you run from pain, you also run from progress. You never discover your limits because you never push far enough to reach them. The body and mind are capable of so much more than you realize, but you'll never know that until you face pain head on. You can't shortcut your way to greatness. You can't buy it, fake it, or wish it into existence. You have to earn it, and earning it requires suffering. The greats understand that the pain is the process. They learn to find meaning inside the struggle, not escape from it. They use pain as a compass. It points them toward the areas they need to grow. You have to change your relationship with pain. Stop seeing it as your enemy and start treating it as your greatest ally. When it shows up, don't hide. Listen. Let it show you where you've been weak, where you've been soft, where you've been making excuses. Pain exposes your truth, and most people can't handle that, which is why they stay stuck. But if you're willing to face it, to sit in it, to learn from it, you'll become something unbreakable. You'll learn that pain doesn't end you, it rebuilds you. It crafts you into someone who's not afraid to go through hell to create their heaven. Every scar has a story. Every ache has a purpose. Every tear has a lesson. Pain refines you, sharpens you, and prepares you for the battles that comfort never could. It teaches you to fight for what matters, to stay focused when everything hurts, to rise again when the world expects you to fall. Pain is not there to punish you. It's there to prepare you for the life you say you want. The stronger your tolerance for pain, the greater your capacity for success. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your passage to greatness. Embrace it, because it's the only way you'll ever discover how powerful you really. Archie at GPT said, "CB Burke discipline over motivation. Motivation fades. Discipline is what keeps you grinding when no one's watching." Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the fire that keeps burning long after the excitement is gone. Everyone feels motivated when things are new, when the dream still feels fresh, when the vision is clear and the energy is high. But when the pain sets in, when the early mornings become heavy, when the routine starts to feel like a burden, that's when motivation disappears. It's discipline that carries you through those dark stretches when you feel nothing but resistance. Discipline doesn't need inspiration. It doesn't need a mood. It doesn't need applause. It just needs commitment. People wait for motivation like it's some magic force that will fix their laziness. They scroll, they listen, they talk about getting inspired. But inspiration without action is nothing. It fades the second life gets hard. Discipline is the opposite. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care about your excuses, your fatigue, or your comfort. It's the decision to do what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. That's the difference between those who dream and those who do. The disciplined ones show up every single day, not because they're motivated, but because they've made a promise to themselves and they refuse to break it. The truth is, discipline is brutal. It's repetitive. It's lonely. It's doing the same hard things again and again while the world tells you to relax. It's saying no when everyone else says yes. It's sacrificing comfort for consistency. Discipline doesn't give you instant results, and that's why most people never master it. They want the shortcut, the quick win, the easy success. But the real power lies in the grind that no one sees. When you get up at 4 a.m., when you train in silence, when you push yourself to the edge even when there's no one clapping for you, that's discipline. That's where greatness is built. Motivation makes you feel good. Discipline makes you good. One depends on emotions, the other depends on standards. Motivation is a feeling, discipline is a lifestyle. You can't rely on how you feel to determine your actions because feelings are temporary. Some days you'll wake up tired, unmotivated, even broken. But discipline doesn't negotiate with weakness. It says, I don't care how you feel. You're doing it anyway. That's the mindset that transforms ordinary people into unstoppable forces. Discipline isn't built in one day. It's built in every choice you make. Every time you do something you don't want to do, you're building a brick of self-respect. Every day you stay consistent, you're laying the foundation of mental toughness. You start realizing that it's not about perfection, it's about persistence. You can fail today, you can fall short tomorrow, but discipline means you get back up and do it again. It's not glamorous, it's not loud, it's quiet, ruthless consistency. And that consistency is what separates those who talk about goals from those who achieve them. You can't build a strong mind by giving yourself options. You can't grow by giving in to comfort. Discipline is what keeps you sharp when everyone else is slipping. It's what keeps you training when you're tired, studying when you're bored, pushing when you're uninspired. Discipline is the muscle that strengthens your willpower. It's what allows you to perform at a high level even when you've lost all external motivation. It's what makes you unstoppable when everything else inside you wants to quit. Every great achievement is born from discipline. Every champion you admire has faced those same mornings of doubt and exhaustion, but they didn't rely on motivation to save them. They relied on routine, structure, and commitment. They trusted the process even when it was painful. They showed up, they stayed consistent, and they let their actions speak for them. That's how discipline works. It earns respect through repetition, not emotion. Motivation will give you a reason to start, but discipline will give you a reason to finish. Motivation is the spark that ignites your ambition, but discipline is the fuel that keeps it alive. It's waking up early when no one's watching. It's putting in the work when no one's cheering. It's refusing to quit even when no one would blame you for stopping. Discipline is the quiet voice inside that says, keep going when motivation is long gone. It's the foundation of everything you'll ever achieve because without it, you'll always stop when it gets hard. With it, you'll keep moving long after everyone else has given up. ChatGPT said, say Bercy of a war within, the toughest battle you'll ever fight is against your own excuses. The real war isn't out there in the world. It's inside your head. It's that constant fight between who you are and who you're supposed to become. Every day you wake up, you face two voices. One tells you to push harder, to rise, to grind, to stay committed. The other whispers that you've done enough, that you deserve a break, that you can start tomorrow. That second voice, the voice of comfort, fear, and doubt, is your greatest enemy. It's not the people around you holding you back. It's the excuses you keep believing. The war within is real, and it's relentless. Excuses are seductive. They sound logical, they sound fair, and they sound comforting. They give you permission to stay the same. You tell yourself you're too tired, too busy, too old, too unlucky, and you start to believe those lies. You convince yourself that your situation is special, that your struggle is harder, that your timing just isn't right. That's the trap. That's how weakness wins. The mind knows exactly how to manipulate you into quitting. It knows your fears, your insecurities, your patterns. It feeds you just enough justification to make you feel okay about giving up. And every time you listen, you lose a piece of your edge. The war within doesn't end when you achieve something. It gets louder, smarter, and stronger. The moment you conquer one excuse, another one rises. The voice in your head doesn't disappear. It adapts. It tells you that you've earned rest, that you've proven enough, that you can coast for a while. That's how mediocrity sneaks back in. The battle never stops. It's fought in your thoughts, your habits, and your decisions. It's fought in the moment you decide to snooze the alarm, to skip the workout, to delay the plan. Every small choice becomes a battlefield, and how you respond decides the outcome. You can't silence the voice of excuses. You have to overpower it. You have to train your mind the same way you train your body. You have to build mental discipline strong enough to recognize when your excuses start talking and shut them down before they control you. The war within is about awareness. It's about seeing through your own lies and calling yourself out. It's about being brutally honest with who you are and what you're avoiding. You can't win this war by pretending. You win it by facing the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it is. The hardest part about this battle is that no one else can fight it for you. People can motivate you, they can inspire you, they can support you, but they can't silence your excuses. Only you can do that. Only you can decide to stop letting your weakness dictate your life. The war within is fought alone, in silence, when no one's watching. It's won in the moments of decision when you feel broken, but keep going anyway. It's when your mind tells you to quit and you say no. It's when everything in you wants to rest, but you keep pushing because you know you haven't earned it yet. Excuses are built from fear. Fear of failure, fear of pain, fear of judgment. The mind builds walls to protect you from discomfort, but those walls also trap you inside your limits. The moment you start breaking those walls, you start breaking your excuses. You start seeing that most of your limits are illusions. You're capable of more, but your excuses have convinced you otherwise. The war within is about taking back control. It's about refusing to be a prisoner of your own mind. Winning the war within doesn't mean you never feel doubt or weakness again. It means you stop letting those emotions decide your future. It means you learn to act despite fear, to move despite fatigue, to persist despite resistance. It means you become stronger than your excuses. Every time you choose action over comfort, truth over denial, purpose over weakness, you win a small victory in that internal war. And those victories add up. They build momentum, they build confidence, and they build resilience. The battle inside never truly ends, but every day you fight, you reclaim a piece of your potential. The war within is the toughest fight you'll ever face because it's not about beating someone else. It's about defeating the weaker version of yourself that wants to stay comfortable, that wants to stay safe, that wants to stay. Average ChatGPT said, "Berkshire, stay hard, stay hungry. Don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're done." The world is full of people who quit the moment they feel pain, who stop the second life gets uncomfortable, who slow down as soon as they start to sweat. But if you want to build something unbreakable inside yourself, you have to push past that point. You have to train your mind to keep moving when your body wants to shut down. Being tired is not a signal to quit. It's a signal that you're finally getting somewhere. The ones who stay hard, who stay hungry, they don't care how they feel. They care about the mission. They care about finishing what they started. The moment you feel exhaustion creeping in, that's the test. That's when discipline separates itself from desire. Everyone wants success until it starts to hurt. Everyone wants greatness until they realize what it costs. The difference between average and elite is simple. The elite don't care about comfort. They've built their mindset to keep going no matter how painful it gets. When you feel like you've given everything, you've usually only given 40%. There's always more in the tank, but you'll never find it unless you push yourself past the point where you want to quit. You don't stop because you're tired. You stop when the job is done. Staying hungry means you never get satisfied. You never look at what you've done and think it's enough. You never let success make you soft. Hunger is the fuel that keeps you chasing the next level. It's the mindset that says, I can do more, I can be more, I'm not finished yet. The moment you think you've made it, you start to decline. The moment you start celebrating too long, you lose your edge. You have to stay humble enough to remember where you came from and hungry enough to know you're not where you could be. Hunger keeps you dangerous, it keeps you sharp, it keeps you uncomfortable, and that's exactly where you grow. Staying hard is about mental toughness. It's about building calluses on your mind so that pain doesn't scare you anymore. When life hits, when people doubt you, when things fall apart, you stay locked in. You don't fold. You don't make excuses. You adapt, you grind, you endure. That's what it means to stay hard, to refuse to let the world break you. You become the kind of person who thrives in chaos, who performs under pressure, who finds strength in suffering. You become someone who no longer needs perfect conditions to perform because you've already trained yourself to handle the storm. The truth is, you're going to get tired. You're going to have days when everything inside you screams to stop. Your mind will start listing reasons why you should slow down, why you should take it easy, why you've earned a break. But that's the exact moment that separates the strong from the weak. The weak listen to that voice. The strong silence it and keep going. You have to learn to find energy in exhaustion, to find focus in fatigue. You have to learn to dig deeper when it feels like there's nothing left. Because there's always more inside you. Always another gear, another level, another reserve of strength waiting to be unlocked. Stay hungry by setting new goals the moment you reach one. Don't let your victories make you complacent. Success can be dangerous because it tricks you into thinking the work is over. But the work never ends. The grind doesn't stop. You have to wake up every day like you're still at the bottom, like you've still got something to prove. That's how you keep your edge sharp. That's how you stay dangerous. The hunger inside you must always be greater than the comfort around you. Staying hard and staying hungry is not a slogan. It's a way of life. It means showing up when no one's clapping. It means doing the work when no one's watching. It means giving everything you've got, every single time, even when you don't feel like it. You keep your standards high even when the world expects you to lower them. You chase discipline, not motivation. You choose effort over excuses. You refuse to let fatigue decide your future. You push past the limits your mind tries to set because you know the real growth starts where comfort ends.